The Legend of Zelda is such a good series. What I like the most about it is opening treasure chests only to find new cool items and figuring out how I can use them best to fight enemies or to complete a dungeon. Sadly, not all Zelda items are really useful. Some of those are just plain silly and completely useless. And you know what? This is why we're here today. Hey, I'm Nico, and this is my top 10 worst Zelda items. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker is a favorite of mine. I mean, it's so colorful, and Link expresses his emotion in various funny ways. The temples are really well made and really fun, and some of the items you get in the game are pretty inventive. Sadly, this cannot be said for the first item you receive in the game. The telescope is a gift given to you by your sweet little sister Ariel. Minutes before she gets captured by a giant bird, of course. Okay, sure, it has sentimental value and stuff, but it's useless. You have to use it one time in the game at the beginning, and then after that, well, you can use it to look far away. Yay! I doubt any of you really use the telescope that much, especially in Wind Waker HD, where you have the swift sail which allows you to sail super fast. So why would you lose time looking at where you're going if you can just go fast? This next item on this list appears in 6 different Zelda games, and yet it proves to be annoying to use in all 6. The shovel is... well, it's a shovel, okay? It can be used to dig out holes in the ground in hope of finding interesting stuff. With it, you can dig out holes everywhere. That's it, that's all it does. If you have a lot of spare time, you can rack up hearts and rupees, but seriously though, it is so tedious to use in all games. You dig out square by square. There's no like fast digging option or something like that. And sometimes you dig and you don't even find anything. What a waste of time. Twilight Princess HD was just released, and it reminded me of how many items there are in this game. I mean, your inventory is crazy big. Sadly, some of the items could have used some more work to be more useful. And that's the case for the spinner. The idea behind that item is pretty inventive. Use it to get on tracks and move up walls. Sadly, except from the Arbiter's Ground and a little segment at the end before the battle against Ganon, you don't really get to use that item that much. And it's kind of a shame because it could have been so much more. You know what's fun? Video games! But you know what isn't fun? Cleaning up and vacuuming. So why would anyone decide to mix those two things together? In Skyward Sword, if you visit the Lanayru mining facility, you'll gain access to a brand new item, the Gust Bellows. This item looks like a leaf blower, and that's because it's pretty much what it is. With this item equipped, you can blow air and reveal hidden objects. You mostly use it to reveal hidden things under the sand, but this is so boring. Why do I need to do this? This just slows down my adventure. And that's not all. There's actually a side quest in which you use it to clean a house. Wow. The Legend of Zelda: The Cleaner of Time. Genius! The only good way to use this item is in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, where it's actually overpowered. Like, seriously, how is this even fair? I mean, look at this. In Ocarina of Time, after you complete the Dungo's Cavern, you will have to go to Zora's Domain. On the way there, you'll meet this weird guy, and if you talk to him, he'll sell you magic beans. Okay, at first these beans will only cost you 10 rupees. What do? Well, you get one and you plant it on patches of soft soil. And that's it, nothing more happens. Oh, until 7 years later, where it will actually grow and become a floating leaf? But 7 years? That's a long time. Anyways, let's go buy another one, okay? Wait, they're 20 rupees now? What the heck? And that's exactly what's going to happen. Every time you'll buy a magic bean, the price will increase. And they don't become any more fun to use. I find it really tedious that I have to pay a ridiculous amount of money just to plant something somewhere. Then I have to travel all the way back to the Temple of Time, only to travel all the way back to the patch of soft soil and find my magic leaf. So annoying. Oh, the Temple of Time. It's in this very exact temple that you first set your eyes on the Master Sword in Ocarina of Time. And in Twilight Princess, well, you go back to that temple, only to find a new item, the Dominion Rod. With this new item equipped, you can, well, throw light balls. Yay! No, the real use for the Dominion Rod is to breathe life into certain statues, and once that is done, these statues will mimic your every moves. That may sound cool, but trust me, it's not really cool. It's just very annoying, and the worst thing about this item is that once you're out of the Temple of Time, there's barely any use to it. What good is a weapon that only turns statues into living things inside one single temple and then is never used again? A couple of hours into Wind Waker, you will find yourself on an island named Windfall Island. Here you can interact with various townspeople, you can buy a sail, you can play hide and seek with kids, you can do a lot of stuff. One of the things you can do involves this small jail here. You can set free this weird green guy named Tingle. The little guy thinks he's a fairy with mysterious power. Weird, but whatever. Anyways, when you rescue him, he gives you the Tingle Tuner. To use this item, you actually need to have a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Advance to GameCube connector. Once that is done, you can spend your hard-earned rupees to call Tingle, which is controlled by the Game Boy Advance screen. This gets you the ability of getting back some health or magic, or floating for a limited amount of time, or using bombs, but it is so unnecessary most of the time. If you use the Tingle Tuner, you'll just end up broke, and trust me, you need rupees in Wind Waker. Seriously, get a lot of rupees, okay? You'll thank me later. Ocarina of Time is such an amazing game. I really liked the fact that you start your adventure as a child and you end up growing up. And I also like the fact that when you're a child, you can use some items that you cannot use as an adult, and the same thing can be said about using adult items as a child. When Link is a child, he uses the Kokiri sword, which looks more like a little dagger. Then he grows up and gets the Master Sword. But there's one more sword that can be used in the game. Go to Goron City and go see this huge Goron. Pay him a lot of money and you'll get the Giant's Knife. Whoa, that sword is so big and it hurts enemies so much. What a great sword. I'll never stop using it. Whoa. What? It broke down? Oh. Yup, the Giant's Knife is a sword that breaks down if you use it. This is so stupid! What good is a sword that breaks after a couple of hits? Keep using the Master Sword, it will prove to be more useful. Or better yet, complete the quest for the Big Goron sword. This way, you'll get to keep your big sword. But the Giant Knife? Meh, it's trash. Remember when I told you how useless the Tingle Tuner was in Wind Waker? Well, at least Nintendo kind of listened to me and removed it in Wind Waker HD. Great! Sadly, they decided to replace the Tingle Tuner with another weird item, the Tingle Bottle. Okay, with this bottle equipped, you can write down a message and throw it in the ocean for some other player online to find. Cool idea, but it's the internet and Miiverse, so what do you expect? Most drawings I found are plain out ugly and weird and... I mean, what am I supposed to make out of this? Or that? Geez, you know what? In retrospective, I'd rather have the Tingle Tuner back. Twilight Princess was, at the time, the first 3D Zelda game not to feature a green magic bar, and this was disappointing to say the least, especially considering that one of the screenshots on the back of the Wii box actually displays the green magic bar. Anyways, to make up for the lack of magic, they decided to include way more rupees than any other Zelda game. This led to many frustrating things, especially when your wallet was full and you had to put the rupees back. That was so dumb. Why am I telling you all of this? Well, if you complete a really boring quest involving you giving away thousands of rupees, you'll get access to Malo's Mart, a trendy shop where you can buy a magic armor that is supposed to protect you and make you stronger. Amazing! This is probably where I finally get my green magic bar, right? Wrong. This magic armor makes you invulnerable, sure, but it runs on rupees. Yup, just wearing the armor consumes rupees. That's just plain dumb. But listen, if you run out of rupees, the armor stops glowing and becomes too heavy for Link to wear, so you're stuck in this position. Look at how slowly you walk. What kind of item is this? This is the worst item any Zelda fan could hope for. Thanks a lot for watching, I hope you enjoyed this new top 10. And now I want to know, what is your worst Zelda item? Tell me all about it in the comment section below. You can also consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more top 10s like this in the future. While you're at it, be sure to check out the best Zelda items ever. And you might also be interested in checking out the worst Mario power-ups while you're at it. Alright, goodbye!